Welcome to this week's episode of the BioSlife franchise product training call. My name is Dr. Peter Verdegam, and I'm the Chief Science Officer of Unicity International. This week we'll be talking about the liver, and more particularly about Liver Essentials, which is one of Unicity's international products that we market all over the world. And liver health is very important, and that's because the liver is a very important organ to our overall functioning and to our overall biochemistry. It's a fairly large organ, which you probably recognize immediately if you see a picture from, because a lot of people know the shape and the color of the liver, partly because people ate liver. Liver from pigs, but also from chickens is eaten. Personally, I don't like liver. I don't like organ meat, but a lot of people like the specific taste of the liver. The specific taste of the liver gives an important clue what the liver actually does, because the liver is a very important organ in our body to clean up mess. And that's maybe a surprise to you, but that's why the liver has its characteristic taste, because it has spent a whole life working to clean your blood and important other parts of your body from things that your body doesn't want to have to deal with. And I think that's the main reason why the liver has such a strong taste, particularly of older animals. Younger animals, of course, have still a not-so-strong tasting liver, and that is because it hasn't spent a lifetime yet of cleaning up mess in your body. Well, that was a little bit of introduction about the liver, and let me tell you in a more scientific and biological way what the liver actually does. Now, the liver has a number of very distinct functions in our body. First of all, it manufactures bile. And that's important. Bile and bile acids are very important in digestive processes. We know that bile is needed to solubilize fats from our food and to make sure that fats can be transported deep enough into the digestive tract, and it helps with the digestive processes of that fat. Bile is also important in cholesterol management, because bile is in fact synthesized by the liver using cholesterol. So that means that bile acids and bile itself is rich in cholesterol, and your body can use that process by the liver, by producing bile, to regulate your cholesterol level. And as you may know, that BioSlife actually uses this mechanism in particular because it traps the bile in the digestive tract so that the cholesterol being used to manufacture the bile is going to be taken away from your bloodstream. And that is one way how BioSlife uses the mechanism of the liver concerning bile to lower cholesterol. The liver does much more. It also stores sugar. The liver stores glycogen, which is in fact the bodily method of storing excess sugar. The liver also releases sugar, puts sugar into the bloodstream. So there is a regulation effect of the liver when it comes to balancing your sugar levels. The liver also stores vitamins, minerals. It also manufactures certain vitamins. It produces proteins, very important enzymes that our body needs. And liver also synthesizes clotting factors. You can imagine how important that is once you have a little accident and you wouldn't have clotting factors in your blood would actually keep on flowing out of a wound. So you need clotting factors to make sure your arteries can heal themselves once you have damaged them. And that's where it comes to when it comes to liver health, is very important in removing toxins, destroying bacteria, and preventing free radical damage. Particularly removing the toxins is a very important function of the body, and most people consider that the most important function of the liver. Removing molecules, components, things that we do not want in our blood and in our body, removing them from the body. That's one of the most important things of the liver. Now, the liver is one of our organs, and as with any organ, a lot of things can go wrong with the organs. What are some of the most important health problems that our liver is facing? Well, a very well-known one is hepatitis. Hepatitis, the word ends on itis, so it means an inflammation. It is inflammation of the liver, and you have different kinds of hepatitis, A, B, and C. And, that's a serious condition, depending on which type of hepatitis you have. But a lot of people that have contracted hepatitis, it's very difficult to get rid of it. So it's something you definitely want to prevent. Another thing that can happen is acute toxicity. If you've taken a certain toxic component by accident, for example, a heavy metal or a pesticide or some other industrial chemical, it's going to end up in your liver simply because your liver's job is to remove that from your body. So if you take in a sudden high amount, your liver is going to be seriously damaged because your liver can deal with small amounts over time, spread out over time, but one single big shot of a toxic chemical is going to seriously damage your liver. The same thing is, for example, alcohol intoxication. Alcohol is basically nothing different than one of those toxic chemicals. It is a molecule that is not normal part of your biochemistry. So if you drink a lot of alcohol, either short term or spread out over a long term, your liver is going to have to deal with that by cleaning the alcohol up and bring it out of your body. And that's, of course, a very well-known liver problem for alcoholics. But also long-term medication use is a problem for your liver. Medication, it has very positive effects. That's why you take it. But it is not a normal entity in your body. So it's a foreign molecule, chemically synthesized molecule that your liver has to clean up. And that's why if you take medications chronically over like 10, 20, 30 years, your liver is going to, every time you take that specific pill, it's going to have to clean it up. And every time it has to do so, it leaves a little bit of damage behind in the liver, and this can accumulate. That's why a lot of medications, let's take statins, for example. Statins are well-known medications that can cause liver damage. You have to, monitor certain liver enzymes that are an indication of damage to the liver. That's simply because medication is healthy for you for what it's prescribed for. It's going to cure something, but it is not healthy for your liver because your liver has the dirty job of having to clean it up. One important biochemical process I have to discuss when it comes to liver functioning is that of glutathione. Glutathione, and I've mentioned it already in last week's call when we were talking about another product that dealt with glutathione, is the most important molecule in the body when it comes to preventing free radical damage and toxin removal. Glutathione, it's a buzzword. A lot of people know the word. What it actually is, it's actually a very small peptide. A peptide meaning it's a combination of three different common amino acids. And these amino acids are glutamine, cysteine, and glycine. Glutamic acid, cysteine, and glycine. These three amino acids form glutathione. And it's nothing else than a small peptide in that sense. Your liver synthesizes glutathione because it is needed for toxic waste removal. And this works as follows. Let's take an example. You take a drug, a statin drug, for example, which your body considers as a toxin because it is a foreign molecule. Now, that toxin itself has a certain chemical structure, a certain solubility, a certain structure, and normally your body, your liver, does not know how to deal with those unknown chemical components. But your body knows that it tries to attach that unknown component to a glutathione molecule so that they form a complex. So glutathione has a lot of attach points that can actually attach to foreign entity molecules, form a complex, and at that moment, once the complex is formed, your body recognizes it because it knows a part of it, which is the glutathione, and it can pick it up and through biochemical measures remove it from your body. And that's how glutathione works with many different types of toxins. It's not very specific for one type of toxin. It basically binds to a lot of those toxic molecules. Once it's bound, your body can recognize it and remove it. And that is a very important part of liver health, boosting up your glutathione levels, because glutathione is the most important molecule in this regard. And over time, particularly if your liver experiences more and more damage because of the things I discussed, your glutathione levels are going to go down. Part of it because a lot of it is used by the liver during those episodes of damage, but also because your overall liver ability to make glutathione is going to be reduced. So that is a very important part of the product Liver Essentials, making sure that your glutathione is going to be kept in healthy levels. And one important concept here I have to discuss is with glutathione is that it doesn't really help to give you pure glutathione in a pill. And that's because it's a peptide. Peptides are being easily digested in the digestive tract. Peptides are very acid sensitive. So if you mix glutathione in a pill with acids in your stomach, you're going to simply hydrolyze or destroy the glutathione, not giving you any benefit in glutathione levels in your body. And sadly, when I look in different places that sell dietary supplements, I still see a lot of products out there that simply sell glutathione in a pill. And that really doesn't make sense. Talk to any nutritional biochemist and he's going to say,
it's not going to do anything. It's not going to give you the benefit that you're looking for. This simply is, riding the wave of marketing buzz. If people hear about glutathione, they want to see glutathione on a bottle and take it. But it's not going to be that effective. What you need to have in order to have glutathione boosting effects is building blocks. You need to have the building block of the rate determining, the rate limiting building block of glutathione synthesis. And that is N-acetylcysteine. Cysteine is part of the glutathione backbone, and this is kind of an essential amino acid in the term, and what I mean with that is that it's usually not very abundantly present in your body. The dietary sources of cysteine are rather limited, so you really have a big benefit if you supplement, if you take extra cysteine in your body through supplementation. And N-acetylcysteine is a different kind of cysteine, but in your body it's broken down into the real cysteine that your body needs in order to synthesize glutathione. Now, the best thing is to take liver essentials together with B vitamins, because B vitamins are the switches that your body needs to make sure cysteine can be converted into glutathione. And we have not included B vitamins in the liver essentials itself. We expect you to get B vitamins, of course, with your normal multivitamin supplement as Core Health and many other products provide. But it boosts up the effect of liver essentials quite a bit if you, at the same time, take B vitamin complex with the product. So N-acetylcysteine is one of the most important ingredients when it comes to building blocks present in liver essentials. There are more ingredients in liver essentials. Let me list them. First we have N-acetylcysteine, but then we have a herbal extract, a mixture of milk thistle, Picroritza curoa, which is an Indian herb. I'll talk a little bit about that. Schisandra, turmeric, and green tea. That is the mixture it's a proprietary blend of herbal extracts that we have included in liver essentials. And that mixture is going to do mainly three things for your liver. One, it's going to help your liver function. It's going to provide your liver with the ingredients it needs to be able to do its job for your whole life. That's one of the aspects of liver essentials. It's going to increase your antioxidant and toxin removal effect. I discussed the glutathione aspect, but also antioxidants in general are being used by the liver quite a bit to remove toxic molecules, and that is what liver essentials is going to boost up. And generally, it's going to give you nourishment of the liver. Your liver is an organ, needs vitamins, minerals itself to properly function, and that's going to be boosted when you take liver essentials every day. Let me discuss the different ingredients together in the product liver essentials. We already discussed N-acetylcysteine. Let's discuss milk thistle. Milk thistle is, if you ask a herbal scientist about what will be good for liver, he immediately would come with milk thistle because that's the most well-known herbal that has been studied in relation to liver protection. The main ingredient in milk thistle is a component called silibin. Silibin is a chemical molecule. It's naturally present in the milk thistle plant, and that's the active component. In fact, most products are standardized to contain at least a minimum of a certain amount of silibin, and that's, of course, what we have done in liver essentials. It's going to increase the glutathione levels. It's going to boost up the synthesis, the natural synthesis of glutathione in your liver. It's an antioxidant itself, so it's going to prevent certain free radical damage to your liver that can occur because free radicals are being cleaned up by your liver. But interestingly, it has shown that silibin from milk thistle somehow reacts with the cell wall of the hepatocytes, the liver cells, making them not permeable for toxins. So it prevents toxins from going into the liver cells. And that's an important protection aspect because since the liver is encountering so much toxic molecules, part of that damage is going to happen because those toxins cross the hepatocyte membrane and go into the liver cells. Now, the milk thistle and the silibin with it are going to prevent that from happening, are going to slow down that process. So in vitro biochemical studies have shown that silibin and milk thistle are going to reduce the absorption capacity of liver cells for toxins. And that enormously reduces the damage in your liver cells because of toxins. And this effect has been proven by a number of studies, and one study in particular is interesting. That's a study that was done with people that worked in factories where they produced organic solvents, and particularly benzene, toluene, and xylene. Now, those are kind of dangerous cancer-causing organic solvents that would normally be cleaned up again by the liver, but cause a lot of damage to the liver itself and may actually cause liver cancer. In this particular study that was using milk thistle, part of the group of the people that worked in that factory took milk thistle, the other group did not, and they could clearly see that the liver of the people taking milk thistle was better protected against toluene, xylene, and benzene toxicity. And this makes sense because that's what people are looking for. That's the kind of effect that people are looking for: protection for organic chemicals that would be considered toxins in our environment. Schizandra. Schizandra is the next herbal extract in our product. We deal here with the Schizandra fruits, little red berries. It's a winding herb, and it's particularly grown in the Far East. Very well known fruit over there. People take it for its health benefits, of course. We have an extract which is highly concentrated in schizandrine B. And schizandrine B is, again, the molecule that has been considered to be the active component of the Schizandra fruit. This one, apart from increasing glutathione levels, works through cytochrome P450. And cytochrome P450 is an own separate pathway to detoxify organic chemical molecules. So apart from the glutathione pathway, which it stimulates, we also take care of boosting up the cytochrome P450 pathway, which, is basically a different kind of concept of cleaning up toxins, but the similarity with glutathione is that it is a component that activates a toxic molecule so that it can be removed from the body. You must realize that toxic molecules are really inert in our body in the sense that our body doesn't really know what to do with them. They don't look like anything else, like they don't look like a sugar molecule or an amino acid or a vitamin. They just are a completely different class of molecules, so our body doesn't have the normal biological mechanisms to do something with them, to clean them up, to remove them from the body. So the detoxification mechanisms we have in our body try to attach something to that foreign molecule so that it can be better recognized by cleanup mechanisms. And cytochrome P450 is another well-known cleanup mechanism in the liver that Schizandra fruits is going to promote. The last herbal extract that I want to discuss in Liver Essentials is called Picoritza. Picoritza curoa is the full name. And this is a very special herbal extract. It is well known in India. It's part of the Ayurvedic medicinal sciences. Ayurvedic is the traditional medicinal science from India. And in that science, it's been used for a long time for many different things. It's a bitter root. It's the root that is being used in this regard. And it's particularly rich in two components. One is apocynin, and the other one is picrosites. And picrosites and apocynin are the active components in the plant. It's quite a bit of knowledge in Unicity about Picoritza curoa because one of the scientists in Numiko that was part of the development of Liver Essentials spent 4 years during his PhD research looking at the liver beneficial effect of this specific Picoritza curoa herbal extract. And that's why it's in there, because we have such a vast amount of knowledge of this specific plant through this PhD work of this Numiko scientist. And he knows a lot about what the active components are, what they specifically do, and has a great knowledge about the different clinical studies that have been done, mainly in India, when it comes to liver health. Again, this molecule also increases glutathione levels, but the interesting part of this is that most studies have been done looking at cancer. So Picoritza has been shown in a number of trials that it is protecting against experimentally induced cancer. So they haven't done this with real people, but what they've done typically is you take the active components from the Picoritza, you mix them with a bunch of cells that are experimentally turned on to become cancer cells. And you can actually observe then how these active components from the Picoritza curoa plant prevent the tumor growth in the test tube. That is the first step of proving that a certain component has anti-cancer activity. And that has been extensively proven from Picoritza. And then, of course, we have the Indian studies that show that people that take Picoritza curoa over time have a lower incidence of certain cancers, predominantly liver cancers. And that, leads to the conclusion that it must be these components that actually have that effect. So there are a lot of studies being done, and they're not so accessible because they're from India. And sadly to say, there's, of course, a lot of different countries where science has been developed. And since the Picoritza plant is native to India and so well known there, most studies have been done there. And we were very fortunate to have access to all those studies through our scientists that already discussed. We've collected 38 different studies that looked at picoritza effects in people, and on different aspects, on cancer, on hepatitis, on different kinds of hepatitis, infectious hepatitis, viral hepatitis, and we see all improvement in the condition of those patients when they've taken picoritza. So it's a pretty well-researched herb, and it's one of the herbs in liver essentials that you won't see a lot in other products. It's pretty specifically present in our product and not so much in other liver products out there in the market field. Finally, we've also included green tea. Green tea, very well-known antioxidant, but in this case, a specific inclusion of green tea in liver essentials because it has a lot of liver data. It has a specific effect for liver-free radical damage, for the prevention of that damage. And, green tea is good for a lot of different things. The green tea story, of course, is well known. People that drink tea every day, particularly the purer form, which is the green tea, have a reduction of different kind of health concerns, also liver health concerns. The reason why we've included in here is because a lot of studies on green tea actually show specific liver damage reduction. And because it's a general antioxidant, it works in many different areas of the body, but also has a specific function in the liver, and makes sure free radicals that are causing damage to our liver are being neutralized and would not be causing so much damage to the liver. So that basically completes the whole liver essentials formula. It clearly does three very important things. It boosts the glutathione levels. The ingredients, we have the building block of glutathione, which makes much more sense than giving glutathione itself. We have herbal extracts that are known to provide conditions for the liver to utilize that building block and make enough glutathione so your liver can utilize that to detoxify toxins. We have the liver essentials also facilitates detoxification directly by promoting mechanisms like cytochrome P450, like the glutathione pathway, that boost up the liver's capacity to detoxify, and it upregulates antioxidant protection. We have direct antioxidants in the product that work throughout the whole body, but also, and maybe specifically so, in the liver. It's an essential product. It's for who would take liver essentials? Well, obviously, people that have more than others liver damage would immediately take this product. And that group is clear. People that take medication chronically, people that work in companies or in factories that deal with toxic molecules that you can breathe in or get into your body through another way. That is the group that I'm immediately thinking of. That is the group that has extensive risk for liver damage because your liver is constantly working on removing those toxins from your body. But also people that, smoke, have an extra amount of free radicals in your body, people that have either drinking too much alcohol or a little bit, or alcohol every day, or, that have a lot of exposure to alcohol, could definitely need a boost in the liver health. And that's the group that would immediately be attracted to liver essentials. So heavy medication users, people that experience a lot of toxin molecules, either through their work or through other activities that they do, and people that smoke or drink alcohol. And hey, that's almost everybody of us falls in one of those four groups. So liver essentials, it's a product to take care, to nourish your so important organ that we call the liver. And you need the liver to make sure everything else in your body runs smoothly and is kept clean of all those toxic molecules in your body. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for calling in this week to the Unicity Product Training Call. I hope you will be calling in next week again for another interesting discussion on another Unicity product. Thank you, and bye-bye.